All right, let's get to the Tampa Bay Bucks at Seattle Seahawks. Bucks win as 3-point dogs on the road in Seattle. The over hits there, obviously, because it wasn't 73.5. This was the best quarterback game I saw all season. This is what, when they got drafted number 1 and number 3 overall back in 2018, you would not have been necessarily surprised if this game had happened. 3 years ago, when they were both on the Panthers, right, you would have been very surprised if I told you this game had happened. But my number from this one, it's 158.3, because that was Baker Mayfield's passer rating under pressure in this game. He goes 7 for 7, 103 yards and a touchdown under pressure. And Mayfield had maybe the best game of his NFL career, in my opinion.
Baker Mayfield has taken such a big step in his quarterbacking this year, especially when the Bucs have needed him to. The under pressure stuff really stands out because it's not just delivering passes while he's getting hit. He's scrambling more. He's making those plays with his feet as well as he is with his arm. It just feels like he's playing with a lot more confidence in himself within the offense. I think we saw a lot of it with Jared Goff last year in a different way, where Jared Goff knew the offense and fully mastered it at that point. He was going like, I know exactly where to go against any coverage with this ball. They're not going to be able to stop him. This feels like what Baker Mayfield is doing right now, and it's really fun to see him just rip these passes downfield. I think, according to Next Gen Stats, Baker Mayfield on passes 10-plus yards downfield was 9 of 11 for 227 yards and 2 touchdowns. He was eviscerating the Seahawks downfield. He was constantly hunting big plays. And you saw Emeka Egbuka catch a few. Tez Johnson has some really nice plays in this game. And you could just see that he was starting to heat up. And again, it just makes Baker Mayfield the most entertaining quarterback in the NFL because you know he's never going to let a play die. And that's part of what makes Baker Mayfield derogatory is also what makes Baker Mayfield complimentary. He's always going to try and make the play. And it really showed up in this game when they needed it because Sam Darnold was cooking on the other side.
Yeah, so the quarterbacks in this game, Baker goes 29 of 33, 379 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's only 4 incompletions on the day for Baker. Darnold on the other side goes 28 of 34. 341 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception that was unfortunately not quite his fault. Tipped at the line, goes to Levante David, ends up being the game-changing, game-losing interception there with less than a minute left in the fourth quarter. Sucks that it had to end that way. If any game could have gone to overtime, this would have been one that would have been fun to go to overtime. But I think it's safe to say Clint Kubiak's going to be scrapping the Jalen Milroe package after this week.
Yeah, it's always just the little stuff with Seattle. In every game this year, it's always been the little things. It's always been turnovers. It's been against San Francisco, first week of the season. You have Jalen Milroe in for one play on the opening drive and then never in for the rest of the game. Sam Darnold also fumbled on the potential game-winning drive. On this one, they just couldn't get off the field. And I think this is one of those games where there were a lot of trade rumors around Rick Woolen. And this is one of those games where you're like, I think this will kind of cool those off because Nehemiah Pritchett and Josh Jobe were not ready. They were not ready at all for Emeka Egbuka, who was, again, like, I think he is the leading candidate for Offensive Rookie of the Year at this point. Just incredible. Like, honestly, Brian Hartline should use that game as recruiting tape and be like, hey, if you want to come play at Ohio State, you'll end up like these guys. Like that was one of those type of games. JSN was incredible on the other side. But this was one of those games where if you're Seattle, you're going to be kicking yourself at the end of the season because, the Seahawks are still in it when it comes to the division. They can still win the NFC West, especially with the 49ers. I know they won on Thursday, but they're constantly coming back from injury. And you always play the Rams close. So they're going to be in it when it comes to the division. But now you're worrying about seeding. And if you're not winning the division, the Bucs already have the tiebreaker over you.
Yeah, the 49ers have already completed the West sweep. They beat everyone else in the West. The Seahawks, unfortunately, now 2 losses that they're going to be picking themselves. That week 1 loss to the 49ers, now this one. They look like a much better team than I gave them credit for. This offense is absolutely humming. Jazz Smith-Njigba was like a true number one. I think as high as you could have been on him heading into this season, I think he's exceeded all expectations. He goes for 8 catches, 132 yards, and a touchdown in this game. And like you said, those Ohio State wide receivers, man, they come into the league ready to play. Another guy who came in the league ready to play that I was excited that we got to see at least in this one, Tez Johnson, dude. 150-pounder, making plays, 4 catches, 59 yards. And if you can't touch him, you can't get hurt.
And the thing that really stood out with Tez Johnson is not only is he fast, but he can throttle down quick.
Yeah.
He can stop too. And it's not, I think that's such a big difference for speedster wide receivers. If you can't stop quickly, you're not going to be able to play because you can only run go routes. But Tez Johnson was winning on, they had him with design jet sweeps. I think they had a design end around for him. They slid him out the backfield some on passes, but his speed and his ability to stop is really going to help an offense that just needs some more juice, especially while they're waiting for Mike Evans to get back. But it was really fun watching him play, and I think he fits so well into this offense with Baker Mayfield playing the way he is.
I can't believe he lasted the 7th, even if you're just using him as, and I think that's all you really can use him as, is a 3rd down, 2-minute specialist. He can only be in there in situations where you're really not running the football. Because if he has to run block, I mean, it might look like, remember when Tank Dell had to run block at the goal line his rookie year in the NFL. Gosh, too much scouting brain in my mind. But you don't want him run blocking. He's not going to run block. He can't run block. But if it's man coverage, you know it's like a 3rd and 7, you need a guy to win. Des Johnson's going to win a lot of routes. The guy gets open. So I think it's just a nice feather in Josh Grizzard's cap to have and deployed it well in this game. I mean, wasn't on the field that many snaps and gets 59 yards out of it. He's going to be an interesting player to watch and how he's deployed for this Bucs team. And the Bucs, man, my pick of them being the 1 seed when it's all said and done, the NFC, they're making me look smart with all these close wins. Now it might not come to fruition, but they seemingly know how to win games this year in a way that just looks different, I feel like, from years past with this Tampa Bay Bucs team.
I feel like all their wins have been 1-score wins this year. I think they've all had 1-score wins. The 1-score game luck has gone the way of Tampa, which is sort of balancing out the fact that everybody's injured.
Yes, it is. And that's why they didn't have the right side of their line in this one and still got it done.